Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Let me tell you a story that sounds impossible, but it's happening to someone watching this right now. A woman sat in her car outside a grocery store. She had a full cart, a full schedule, a full life on paper, but her chest felt empty. She whispered, "God, I'm tired of pretending I'm okay." And right then, her phone lit up. Not a text, not a call, a notification from a video with a title that felt like a message. She clicked it, and she cried, because the first sentence said the exact words she had just whispered. Listen, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in confirmation. And today, you didn't click this by accident. Because your soulmate, yes, your real person, has been begging Jesus to send you this news. Before I tell you what the news is, do this fast. Subscribe right now. And comment the words, "Lord, I'm ready," because the moment you speak it, you shift something in the spirit. And stay with me until the end, because I'm going to reveal the one sign your soulmate has been seeing over and over, and the hidden reason Jesus hasn't let them reach you yet. That part is going to hit you in a way you won't forget. Now listen carefully. Your soulmate is not just thinking about you. They are not just missing you. They are not just waiting. They are praying, and not casual prayers, desperate prayers. The kind of prayers people whisper when they're alone. The kind of prayers people cry through. The kind of prayers that only come when someone realizes, "I don't want anyone else." Let's get straight into it, because the message is urgent. Your soulmate has been going through something that forced them to get serious with God. Some of you think they're out there living their best life. No, they've been in a spiritual battle, a mental battle, a war in their heart. They've been smiling on the outside, but collapsing on the inside. And the reason you don't know is because God has been keeping you protected. Yes, protected. Because if you saw what they were going through, you would have tried to rescue them, and you would have gotten pulled into something God never assigned you to carry. Some of you have a rescuer spirit. You love deeply, you attach quickly, you sacrifice easily. And Jesus said, "Not this time," because this time your soulmate needs to be healed before they hold you. Let me explain it in the clearest way possible. There are two types of love. There's trauma love and there's covenant love. Trauma love is when two wounded people cling to each other, not because they're ready, but because they're lonely. Love is when two healed people choose each other, not to fill a void, but to build a future. And Jesus is not sending you trauma love. He's sending you covenant love. So what is the news your soulmate is begging Jesus to send you? Here it is. They're finally ready to stop running. That's the news.
They're tired of distractions.
Tired of fake connections. Tired of shallow conversations. Tired of temporary attention. They've been trying to replace you with people who don't even compare. And every time they try, they feel emptier. Because you were never just a person to them. You were a marking, a spiritual imprint. And they know it now. Some of you had a connection that ended abruptly. No closure, no explanation. One day it was intense. The next day they disappeared. And you blamed yourself. You thought you were too much. Emotional, too honest, too deep. But the truth is, you weren't too much, you were too real. And real love scares people who still have demons they haven't faced. Your soulmate didn't leave because they didn't care. They left because they cared, and they knew they weren't safe yet. That's why Jesus didn't allow them to fully take you, because you would have been damaged by their unhealed version. And right now, they're looking back, not casually, not with ego, not with nostalgia. They're looking back with repentance. Let's talk psychology for a second, because this is important. When someone is emotionally unavailable, they don't always feel love at the moment. They feel pressure. They feel exposed. They feel seen. They feel like they can't hide. So what do? They run. But here's the part people don't tell you. Avoidant people don't stop loving. They just bury it. And buried love doesn't die. It grows. It grows in silence. It grows in dreams. It grows in regret. It grows when they meet other people and realize this isn't it. So while you were healing, while you were trying to move on, while you were crying and praying, they were being haunted by the truth. Not haunted by you, haunted by what they lost. And that's why they've been praying, because now they understand something. They can't reach you the same way anymore. They can't come back with the same energy. They can't return with the same excuses. They can't approach you with half love, because you're not the same person anymore. You've changed. You've grown. You've become stronger. You've become wiser. You've become more discerning, and they can feel it. Some of you have been getting signs lately, and you've been trying to ignore them. You've been saying, it's just my mind. It's just my emotions. It's just me missing them. But no, this is spiritual. Let me tell you what your soulmate has been experiencing. They've been seeing your name everywhere. On license plates, on receipts, on random posts, on songs they haven't heard in years. They've been hearing messages that sound like you. They've been dreaming of you. And in those dreams, you're always calm. You're always distant. You're always walking away. And it terrifies them, because deep down, they know time is running out. Not because you're going to end up with someone else tomorrow, but because you're reaching a level of peace where you will never accept confusion again. And that is exactly why they're begging Jesus. They're saying, Lord, please, give me another chance. Lord, please, soften their heart. No, I'm not the same. Lord, please, help me fix what I broke. And here's what's crazy. Some of you think they don't pray. You think they're not spiritual. You think they don't care about God. But pain makes people pray, and losing you has been painful. The kind that wakes them up at night, the kind that makes them stare at the ceiling, the kind that makes them question their life choices. Because you were not just in love, you were at peace. And now they're living without peace. Now listen, this part is important, because I'm about to say something that will make you breathe deeper. Jesus has been delaying the reunion because he's been testing them. Yes, testing them, not testing you. You've already been tested. You've already cried enough. You've already waited enough. You've already questioned yourself enough. This test is for them. Will not give you to someone who will fumble you. You are not a lesson. You are not a trial run. You are not someone's maybe. You are not someone's until I find better. You are a covenant, and covenant love requires character. So what is Jesus doing? He's stripping your soulmate, stripping their pride, stripping their distractions, stripping their ego, stripping their fear of commitment, stripping their need for control. Because the truth is, your soulmate used to think love was about power. Who texts first? Who cares more? Who needs who? Who can walk away? But God is teaching them love is about surrender. The reason they couldn't love you properly before is because they were still addicted to being protected by distance. Distance is a drug. It makes people feel safe. It makes them feel like they can't be hurt. Control. But distance also kills destiny. So God has been pulling them into a season where they can't hide anymore. They can't numb anymore. They can't distract anymore. Some of them have been losing friends, losing money, losing confidence, losing their image. And it's not punishment, it's purification. Because Jesus is preparing them to meet you as a man of God, or as a woman of God, not as a wounded child in an adult body. Now listen to me closely. This is the news your soulmate wants you to know. They're not coming back the same. They're coming back with clarity. They're coming back with intention. They're coming back with accountability. They're coming back with seriousness. Because they know, if they lose you again, they may lose you forever. And for the first time, that fear isn't controlling them. It's awakening them. Because your role in this is not to chase. Your role is not to stalk. Your role is not to message them. Your role is not to make it happen. Your role is to stay aligned. Because when God is writing a love story, He doesn't need you to force the pages. He needs you to stay ready. emotionally ready, spiritually ready, mentally ready. And that means you have to stop entertaining counterfeit love. Because I need to say this plainly. Some of you are asking God for a soulmate while entertaining people who drain your soul. You are asking Jesus for a covenant while texting confusion. You are asking God for peace while accepting inconsistency. And heaven is watching you like, do you want it or not? Your soulmate is begging Jesus, but Jesus is also watching you to see if you've learned. Because if you haven't learned, even the right person will feel wrong. Let me say that again. If you haven't healed, even the right person will feel wrong. Because healed love feels unfamiliar to wounded people. It feels too calm, too stable, too safe. And some of you are addicted to emotional chaos, not because you want it, what you know. So God has been detoxing you. That's why you've been alone. That's why you've been quiet. That's why you've been losing interest in people. That's why your spirit gets tired faster. Because you're becoming sensitive again. You're becoming clean again. Now here's the mini cliffhanger I promised earlier. The one sign your soulmate has been seeing repeatedly. It's not just your name. It's not just your birthday. It's not just the songs. It's the number of confirmation. They keep seeing repeating numbers. 1111, 222, 333. And every time they see it, they feel an ache. Because it feels like God is saying, you know who it is. You know what you lost. Go fix it. And they've been fighting that instruction. But not anymore. Because something happened recently. Something broke them open. For some of them, it was a failed relationship. For some of them, it was a betrayal. For some of them, it was an illness in the family. For some of them, it was simply waking up one morning and realizing, I am tired of living like this. And that's when they prayed. Not for money, not for success, not for fame, not for attention. They prayed for you. They prayed, Jesus, if they're the one, don't let me lose them. Now I need you to understand something. This is not about obsession. This is not about attachment. This is not about fantasy. This is about divine alignment. And when two souls are meant, God will disturb both hearts. Like you can't settle. Like you can't fully move on. Like something is coming. And you've been trying to ignore it. But you can't. Because your spirit recognizes what your mind is trying to deny. Now listen. I'm going to speak a hard truth with love. If you are watching this and you're hoping it's a specific person, but that person has abused you, cheated repeatedly, manipulated you, or destroyed your mental health, that is not your soulmate. That is your trauma bond. And Jesus is not sending you back to pain. So be careful. Because the devil can imitate a message, but he cannot imitate peace. Your soulmate will bring peace, not confusion, not anxiety, not fear, not constant tears. Peace. Now here's the news in its fullest form. Your soulmate is begging Jesus to send you this message. I'm sorry. I see you now. I'm not running anymore. I'm getting my life together. I want to do this right. I want to come to you with honor. And for some of you, they want to marry you. Yes, marry you. Desperate. But because they're finally mature enough to recognize, when God gives you something rare, you don't play with it. You protect it. You cover it. You commit to it. Now let me tell you something powerful. The reason this connection feels spiritual is because it is. Your soulmate is not just a romantic partner. They are a destiny partner. They are connected to your calling. They are connected to your future. They are connected to your growth. They are connected to your purpose, and the enemy has been trying to delay it. That's why you've experienced delays, miscommunication, timing issues, distance, silence. Because if the enemy can keep you two apart, he can keep your purpose slower. But he can't stop what God has already approved. He can only distract you long enough for you to sabotage it yourself. So what do you do right now? Chase. You don't beg. You don't post indirect messages. You don't throw yourself into options. You pray. and you stay ready. You keep your standards. You keep your boundaries. You keep your heart soft, but not open to nonsense. Because the next time they approach you, it will not be casual. It will not be vague. It will be clear. And if it's not clear, it's not God. Now let's talk about the final part, the hidden reason Jesus hasn't let them reach you yet. This is the part I promised you, and it's going to hit deep. Jesus hasn't let them reach you because if they came too early, you would have accepted less than you deserve. Yes, some of you would have taken them back too quickly. You would have ignored red flags. You would have skipped accountability. You would have settled for words instead of change. Fooled by potential. So he kept you separated until you developed discernment, until you developed patience, until you developed self-respect, until you developed the ability to say, I love you, but I need to see fruit. Because the Bible says you will know them by their fruit. Not their tears, not their apology, not their story, not their charm. Their fruit. Consistency, honor, stability, truth, effort. That's fruit. And Jesus is making sure your soulmate comes back with fruit, not just feelings. Now I want you to take a deep breath, because something is about to shift. In the next season of your life, you will not have to beg for love. You will not have to guess. You will not have to decode messages. You will not have to wonder where you stand, because the love God sends will not leave you confused. Rest. And that's what your soulmate is becoming. Rest. Not chaos, not anxiety, not inconsistency. Rest. Now, if this message is for you, I want you to comment, I receive it. And if you're still healing, comment, Jesus, heal me first. Because I'm telling you, he's listening and he is answering. Your soulmate is begging Jesus to send you this news because they can feel the door closing. But if God is speaking to them, that means the door is not closed. It's just guarded. Guarded by wisdom, guarded by timing, guarded by growth. And when the time is right, God will open it. And when it opens, it won't be chaos. It won't be confusion. It won't be games. It will be alignment. So hold your peace, hold your standards, hold your faith, and stop doubting what God already whispered to you in prayer. Because the same Jesus who is working on you is working on them. And the same God who wrote your story is not finished. Not even close. So stay ready, stay clean, stay prayed up, stay grounded. Because the news is real. Your soulmate is coming with a message. And the message is this: I'm ready now. And Jesus is saying to you, get ready too. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. And listen, this is where it gets even deeper, because some of you have been asking, okay, but when? Is this really happening, or am I just hoping? And I need you to hear me clearly. This isn't false hope. This is a spiritual announcement, because your soulmate didn't just wake up one day and miss you. Something in them got exposed. Something in them got confronted. And for the first time, they stopped blaming you. Stopped blaming timing. They stopped blaming distance. They stopped blaming their past. And they started blaming the real enemy. Their fear. Their fear of commitment. Their fear of being fully known. Their fear of being fully loved. Their fear of messing it up. And that fear has been choking them for a long time. But now, Jesus has been dealing with it. I want you to imagine this. Your soulmate, alone at night, phone face down, room quiet, and suddenly, they feel that heavy wave come over them. Not lust, not obsession, not loneliness, conviction. That deep inner voice that says, you need to fix what you broke. And they try to shake it off. They try to distract themselves. They scroll, they watch videos, they talk to friends, they go out, they laugh. But the moment they're alone again, you come back into their spirit. And it's not just memories. Not just moments. It's the feeling of you. The way you loved them when they didn't deserve it. The way you saw through their masks. The way you didn't need them to perform. The way you made them feel safe. even when they were unsafe. And now they realize that kind of love is rare. So they're praying, and this is what they're saying to Jesus. Lord, I don't want to lose them. Lord, please give me courage. Lord, please open a door. Lord, if I reach out, let them answer. And I need you to catch this, because this part is wild. Some of you are about to receive communication that doesn't look romantic at first. It might look small, it might look casual, it might look like a simple check-in, but it's not casual. It's a test. They're testing the waters. They're testing if you hate them. They're testing if you moved on. They're testing if you still have a soft spot, and you need to be wise. Don't respond with desperation. Don't respond with anger. Don't respond with a paragraph. Respond with peace, because peace is power. Let me say it like this. When God is restoring a connection, He doesn't do it through chaos. He does it through clarity. So if they come back and it's still confusing, if they come back and it's still inconsistent, if they come back and it's still secretive, that's not restoration, that's temptation. And you're not being called to repeat cycles, you're being called to break them. Now pause right here, because I want you to engage. If you feel in your spirit that your soulmate is coming back healed, comment, healed love only. If you feel like God is teaching you patience right now, comment, God's timing. If you're done entertaining, comment, I choose peace. Because when you comment, you're not just typing, you're declaring, and declarations shift the atmosphere. Now here's what I need you to understand. Your soulmate is not just coming back with feelings, they're coming back with a plan. Some of you are going to hear words like, I want to take you seriously, I want to build with you, I want to do this the right way, I want to make things official. And you're going to sit there like, wait, you? Yes, them. The one who ran, the one who ghosted, the one who acted cold, the one he pretended they didn't care. Because that version of them is dying, and the new version is being born. And I know some of you are scared, because you don't want to get hurt again. You're saying, I don't trust them. I don't trust love. I don't trust my own heart. And I understand. But hear me. God is not asking you to be naive. He's asking you to be discerning. Big difference. Naive people ignore red flags. Discerning people watch patterns. So when they return, watch their actions, watch their consistency, watch their effort, watch how they handle your boundaries, because if it's from God, they won't fight your boundaries. They will respect them. Now listen, this part is for the people who have been crying in secret. Some of you have been praying prayers like, Jesus, please don't let me love wrong again. Jesus, please don't let me waste my time. Jesus, please send me the one. And the reason this video feels like it's talking directly to you is because it is. Because heaven has been watching your tears, and your tears were not wasted. The Bible says God collects your tears. That means none of your pain was invisible. Nights were forgotten. None of your heartbreak was pointless. God used it to build you, and now you're ready for something different. Now let's go deeper, because your soulmate has been learning something too. They've been learning that love is not something you find. Love is something you become ready for. And they were not ready. Not before. They wanted you to fit into their life. Now, they want to build a life with you. Before, they wanted your attention. Now they want your trust. Before, they wanted your energy. Now, they want your future. And that shift is everything. So here's what I want you to do. If you want to align with this message, type in the comments, Lord, prepare us both. Not just prepare them, prepare us both. Because you are not perfect either. And this love is going to require maturity from both sides. Something. Because some of you are going to feel a sudden urge to reach out after this. Don't. Not yet. Let God lead. Because when God is moving, He doesn't need you to force it. And if you force it, you might step in front of what Jesus is already orchestrating. Let them come. Let them show up. Let them prove it. Because if they're truly your soulmate, they will. Now I want to speak prophetically for a moment, and I need you to listen with your spirit, not your skepticism. Some of you will receive a message within the next 7 to 21 days, and it will not be what you expected. It won't be, hey. It won't be, what's up. It will be something meaningful, something honest, something vulnerable, and you will feel it in your chest, that sudden warmth, that sudden stillness, that sudden quiet confirmation that says, this is real. Listen, don't cry because you missed them. Cry because God kept his promise. Because what God joins, no one can separate. Not distance, not pride, not fear, not timing, not the enemy. So if you believe God is restoring your love story, comment, restore it, Jesus. If you believe you are entering a season of divine love, comment, divine alignment. If you believe your soulmate is being transformed, comment, let God do it. Now let me close this with something you need to remember, because this is the part that will protect your heart. Your soulmate is not your savior. Jesus is. So don't put your healing on a person. Don't put your identity on a relationship. Don't put your worth on whether they return, because even if they return, your worth was already decided at the cross. And that is why this love will be different, because it won't be built on desperation. Built on God. So stay ready, stay prayed up, stay grounded. And if this message hits your spirit, subscribe, like, and share this with someone who needs hope today. And comment one last time, Jesus, send the news, because your soulmate has been begging, and heaven is responding.